G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today we are on Relic River to watch two Conqueror 3 players face off on this map. I love this map. It's a beautiful map, an aesthetic map, and we've got the best biome for it as well, the Japanese Spring. So let's get into it and introduce our players for today. Spawning in the west of the map in the color red, playing as the Knights Templar, it's Crackety here. And on the east side of the map, in the color yellow, playing as the English, as I suspect he does pretty much every game, it's I Play One Civ. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to A Caster Game. A pleasure to have your company here today, and let's talk a little bit about what we can expect. Now, one thing I will just say from the outset is Crackety here. I mean, we talked a little bit about his build order in the last video, and I'm hoping that we get to see it today, because he's got this build order that he does, where he goes for an insanely fast second town center, and I want to see just how quick it actually is. So already you can see some interesting stuff that he's done. So he's like half built the house, and then gone on to build the rest of the mining camp, and the reason why he's done that is because the first villager will build a building with 100% efficiency, but every villager that you add on after that reduces the efficiency of the building. So as an example, if you want to build a building at twice the speed of a single villager, you don't need 2 villagers, you don't need 3 villagers, you need 4 villagers to do it. So just by doing that, by spreading that out and making it so that you've got one villager building more of the buildings, that's a good thing. You want that. So smart little optimization that you've got there. At the same time, we're also starting to see him gathering out the wood. So looking forward to seeing exactly how he looks to play this and optimize this and see what other options you've got with regard to placing down the town center. I think this is the obvious one, right? Like, this just screams very obvious. The other thing to note is you can push the deer into a more conducive place. So this is a really nice spot down here, but you're not going to be able to push the deer down that far. But there's definitely a world where you could push these down, you know, like down towards here. It would not be too hard at all. So we'll double check in with him a little bit later, and we'll check in on our English player and see how he's doing. So far, so good. Looking like a standard English opening, 2 vills into 9 vills on food, 1 now heading over to wood. So I'd suspect he's probably going to be going for the Abbey, but we'll check in and see. Now Crackety's age up about to come through. You can see that the vills. Now, if I remember correctly, what you want to be doing that, yeah, Abbey of Kings coming through for the English player. It doesn't matter whether you click up at 240 or 3 minutes, and the reason why is quite simple, because your age up is always going to take at least a minute. It's going to take 60 seconds for you to do that. So if anything, it's actually better for you to delay your age up. Even if you can get that age up in sooner, it's better for you to delay that age up, just simply because that means you've got a villager that's working for 60 seconds instead of getting it on the other side of you aging up. So you're actually incentivized to age up slowly. A little bit of a miss macro right here from Crackety, but we'll allow it. We'll allow it. I think there's definitely a world where you want to be sending these villagers, one villager out a little bit earlier to go and build the mining camp. But so far, it looks like his age up has been pretty damn clean so far. Idleless age up into the 4-minute timing. So now the question is going to be about how fast he can get this town center down, because normally what you're looking for is to be able to click the town center button as soon as you age up. Now, keep in mind, if you'd like to see a full, complete breakdown of this build order, I'll leave a link in the description to Crackety's video over on his YouTube channel, where he has actually got a breakdown down on exactly how to do this build order, because it's quite an optimized build order, and I'll say that much right now, more of an advanced build order, definitely not a simple one. But if you're playing the Knights Templar and you want to try for this super duper fast second town center, this is 100% the way to do it, because this is, you know, by far the best way to do it. Abbey of Kings, you can see it's going to be coming in around the 5-minute mark. You'll have this TC completed well before then, so you'll be able to see right now. So the age up, the main thing that you're going to be limited on right now is the stone. So you're basically watching your stone, watching all of your villagers as they're about to hand in. You can see now we've gathered up 400 wood. The stone comes through, 405. There it is, 405. That is an early town center, so he's got enough for it, and you can put it down straight away. It looks like he might get blocked for the moment, though. I Play One Civ being very cheeky, I tell you what. He's trying to get the TC down. Oh, he's getting blocked again. You know what? We'll still give it to him. We'll still give it to him, just on the matter of the fact that he was still very clearly able to get it down at that 405-minute mark. And like, if you compare that to Louis MT and the timing that Louis had on his previous town center in the last game, I think it was the last game that we did, that was a 420. Look at the dude, look at the Abbey. That was a 425. So he's a full 20 seconds ahead of Louis MT. And behind the scenes, he actually put more vills over one. I only play one civ. He brought more vills across to get this up faster so that he could get the town center down sooner and get the king out faster. But as you can see, by the time the king gets over here, this town center is going to be well and truly built. And now this is my question about the arms race, right? Like, if we know that everyone's going to go for a second town center, at what point do we just start going for a third town center? Like, why are we even putting this second TC on the deer? Just put the second TC on the stone. We'll put the third TC on the gold. We'll be A-okay. I think that's definitely going to be the development of the meta. It just makes sense, right? Like, I think the reality is the second town center pays itself off quickly, but the third TC pays itself off even faster, just because you've got much more of a window to be talking about when you can be defensive. If that makes sense. It probably doesn't make sense, so I'll try and explain it a bit more. If your opponent's going for second TC, they're going to be delaying their attack against you significantly. Whereas if they're going for one TC, it's going to be coming immediately. And because they're delaying their attack against you, it gives you more time, which means because you've got more time, the third TC, when you can put that down, it actually gives you, because you're getting that third town center and you're kind of optimizing for that third town center, you're able to have a lot more safe time because of that. So it's much better to go 3 TCs against 2 TCs than to go 2 TCs against 1 TC, if that makes sense. Hopefully Hopefully that's made sense. It probably hasn't. Anyway, let's check in with Crackety. I want to take a look and see how he follows this up. Now, keep in mind, that is the fastest town center you will ever get. 4 minutes, pretty much on the dot right there for the Knights Templar. The only civilization that can actually do even close to this is the Ayyubids. You can technically get a 4-minute town center with the Ayyubids as well, but it's not viable. And the reason why is just because you miss out on so much stuff. It's just not worth doing. Where here is like with the Knights Templar, it 100% is. Immediately, all the vills inside the town center. You can see the Knight's going to get that charge, but there's no villagers that it can actually attack. Immediately repelled, down to half health. It's going to have to consider its future prospects, but it's not going to need to. You can see it's just going to work the Pilgrim down. This is a really great move here by iPlay1Civ to recognize that, hey, you know what? It could make a fair bit of sense for us to get a king out here early to stop the stem of the Pilgrim, or to stem the flow of Pilgrims as they march across the map. So Crackety going to be losing out the first Pilgrim. At least, if I remember correctly, that was the first Pilgrim. Immediately throwing down the barracks now. And we see a couple of spears being brought out onto the map. I'm going to lean back in my seat as we continue to watch this economic powerhouse that is the Knights Templar begin to build up. And I'm also curious to see which way the English eventually fall. Do they go into a third TC? It doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Going to be looking to play a bit more standard on the English side of things. So probably going to be looking to go into a whole bunch of upgrades, which we already obviously see. Interestingly, no specialized pick. Normally that's the first one I grab. It's always the one that I feel like you need the most. And then your other upgrades. But, yeah, not going to be doing that. And I suspect we'll probably see a Castle Age. You could go for White Tower, but because your opponent has also gone into a second TC, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to go into White Tower. I don't think you really need it. I think you can go with King's Palace Fast Imp, which is kind of wild, right? 3 TC Fast Imperial, but that's just the way the meta kind of falls at the moment. It's very, very greedy. You can see the king now coming through, looking to try and get a charge off. Phil's going to head back away from the gold vein. He's going to need to 3-hit this villager right here. Nice little micro so far from Crackety here as he manages to defend hard. An upgrade just came through. I'm pretty sure it did because that spearman just kind of stalled out. Scout back towards the other side of the map. And now we can see even more farms coming up for our English player. So quite a bit of an economy beginning to build up over here. Also looking to pick up that wheelbarrow upgrade as well. So just missing out on that final specialized pick upgrade. Meanwhile, on the side of Crackety, we can see that Pilgrim continues to head towards the north. So a little bit of a misplay here, I would say, from iPlay1Civ by not keeping this king in a more favorable position, knowing that his opponent is more than likely going to come up here. But at the same time, there's going to be spears that would have inevitably come up here and guard this Pilgrim. So that's definitely one of the considerations you'd be making. Woodline is almost completely exhausted here by Crackety. And now those numbers really going to start building up. 37 vills against 39. So far, so good for both of these players. Big focus on the economy, and you can see it's just going to be that nice little transition into the Castle Age that's coming through for our English player. Pretty much what you'd expect. And I think you probably could go White Tower into Fast Imperial. Probably a bit safer than King's Palace into Fast Imperial. Especially because if you did that as the English, you'd probably want to follow it up with Berkshire. But where are you going to put a Berkshire on a map like this? You'd have to put it in your base. And there's no resources behind your base. So it feels kind of... It's a bit scary going Fast Imp on a map like this. If you've got, like, you know, Dry Arabia, like the game we just casted, there was a triple gold behind the town center, right? Like, that's an easy to justify Fast Imp on that one. Whereas this one, it's a little bit harder to do. All right, well, Crackety here. Still struggling with the raids. The trade's not going to be the strongest for him. The king's going to come through. He's going to try and hit that last little bit of health. That last little slither. He wants it so bad, but Crackety doing a good job of guarding up. The little pilgrim making his way across the map. The second one's actually out as well. I didn't even realize. He's got the double right now. White Tower is coming up back at home, so he's just going to look to play it safe. I play one civ. So from here, you could definitely look to just play heavy Castle Age. And I think that's definitely an angle that you could do. A little bit late on this age up as well, 10-10. It's going to be a bit later than that. If I remember correctly, we used to be able to do 10-10s with 3 TCs, but maybe the meta's changed a bit since then. Not the meta, but the balance. I don't think it has, if I remember correctly. It should still be all on par. But that was one of the things I always found interesting about English 2 TCs versus 3 TCs, is the timing for Castle Age was always pretty similar. Like, you were obviously you were up quite a bit faster with your 2 TCs, but 3 TCs was very close behind, just primarily because of the farms. So the key difference between the farms on the 2 TC versus the 3 TC is you'd go 14 farms on a 2 TC and you do like 22 farms on a 3 TC. But Monastery going to get thrown up here, shy of the 11 minutes. We're paying attention to both sides as the walls now come down towards the south. In fact, walls coming up across the entirety of this map right now for Crackety. He's really looking to seal this deal. Meanwhile, the age up will be coming through. Now, the question is, which way does he go? Now, I'm hoping that he goes for the Genoese and that he goes into the Genoese crossbowmen, but I'm curious to see what his thinking is in this situation. I mean, you're up against the English, right? So does it make sense to do that? Probably not. Longbows are powerful. So maybe it makes a bit more sense because you're up against the longbows to go into the Genitours. So let's have a look and see whether he goes into Castile or not. He's got 3 different options. The Angevin Empire for spears, the Republic of Genoa for those Genoese crossbowmen, and the Kingdom of Castile for the Genitours. Genitours, of course, a very strong counter unit against anything that's ranged, so if your opponent makes any crossbows or longbows, you'll easily be able to deal with them, but they can be a bit tricky. And he is going to go up with the Republic of Genoa, which I think is a good, safe... It's a safe bet. I feel like it's a guarantee you're going to get value out of it. As long as your pilgrims are making it across the map, you're going to get decent value there. So hopefully we get to see some Genoese crossbowmen out today, because the knight number is beginning to build as he looks to try and grab that Monk. Unfortunately, unable to find it. White Tower providing a decent amount of cover fire here as well. And at the end of it, Crackety here manages to get away relatively safely as the spears make their way forward as well. I play one civ has got to be cautious as all of the spears move up. Beautiful surround that Crackety does right there, but unfortunately, I play one civ not paying attention. And Crackety here just slaughtering his troops towards the front of the base. But now more of these pilgrims make their way up towards the north. You can see just how long it takes for their trek to make it. 169 gold. The age up came through right before it, so they get an extra 30% gold. So expect to see a fortress down here shortly with that treasure towers upgrade, so we can really start pushing that gold to the next level. I think it goes up to 210 with all the upgrades in. But I'm not gonna hold my breath there. Beautiful music, by the way. I love this music. Reminds me of Arcade, which was a game I used to play when I was much younger. It was an MMO, and I tell you what, it had some of the most beautiful music, especially when you were doing like the farming in the town. I don't know how many of you guys were like MMO grinders back in, when was that? It was right after I came back from deployment, so like 2013, 2014, somewhere in that region. I tell you what, the music was just so memorable. Tell you what, I hope Arcade 2 has got music as good as Arcade 1. Anyway, spearman numbers building up here. They're up against quite a few men at arms. We don't see the armor cladding in just yet. It's going to be a couple of seconds, 35 or 36. And have a look at this. He's come from behind once again just to pincer all of the cavalry. He's managed to take out the first. Meanwhile, those spears, he's hit one of them. He's trying to draw back all of the men at arms. He doesn't want him to push through. It's so smart. Templar brothers on the way as well. No Genoese crossbowmen. Ville's on the way forward. I think he was trying for a bit of a quick wall, but realized he didn't have the time for it. Oh boy, Crackety. Very cute bait attempt right there. I love that. The spear's like very intentional, like, hey, follow me over here. You don't want to attack me. You don't want to burn down my wall. Oh gosh. Very aggressive. Very aggressive here from Crackety with this wall, but unfortunately in the end he loses all of his troops. I suspect probably because, no, the walls are up. I wonder why the troops went in that direction. Anyway, he's lost all of his spears, the poor guy. Oh man, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Anyway, we'll check in with these pilgrims towards the north as the gold continues to trickle through. 169, a huge amount of gold coming in right here. So you're talking about 340 gold every minute that's coming through from those pilgrims. That is a huge amount of gold. That's the equivalent of, like, how many relics are we talking there? 4 relics in that region? That's a massive amount of gold, man. I guess that's how the Civ is balanced. All right, finally we get to see the Genoese crossbowman out on the field. It's got a base of 1 ranged armor. Nothing else really going for it. It's obviously it hits like a truck. I mean, that's what it's got going for it. It's also got a good range on it as well. And if you can fight near a fortress, then you get that range bonus on top of the extra range that it's got. So there is absolutely a world where you can fight toe-to-toe with longbows and probably do quite effectively against them now that I think about it. So I wouldn't be too fussed about longbows versus Genoese crossbowmen, especially just considering the fact that you hit so heavily. So yeah, we'll have to see exactly how the play is here for Krakky. He's just stacked up a whole bunch of extra stone, and he's going to be throwing down a fortress in the middle of the map. Now, when it comes to relics, it's a 2-1 split at the moment. Last relic down towards the south, so it will mean... Actually, it was a 2-1 split. It's a 3-1 split now. Now, this is the last relic right here in the middle of the map. Apologies. Still available. Mango moving forward. One Mango going to be nowhere near as strong as adding in that second or that third Mangonel. That's where it really starts to be quite a problem to deal with. But the Spearman men-at-arm number looking very good. I'm loving this infantry composition that we see from I Play One Civ. 16 minutes into the game now. We'll switch it over to income per minute just to get an idea on where these two currently sit. As the fortress makes its way up. Where is he moving these pilgrims? Are they still going all the way north? I suspect they are. I suspect they are here. I don't think he's changed them up just yet. So income-wise, where are these two players currently sitting? About 3k for Krakky here. And on the side of his opponent, about 2.5k. So Krakky here quite a bit ahead. Now keep in mind, both of these guys are Conqueror 3 players. So they're within the same realm, though. I mean, it's another one of those things where it's like, you know, you compare your super top level player to Krakky here, and Krakky here is going to have a little bit of difficulty catching up to, you know, your beasties or your low EMTs. So I Play One Civ is probably in that same boat compared to Krakky. So while I Play One Civ is a Conqueror 3 player, he definitely enters this game not being the favorite. We'll say that much. Down towards the south, Templar brothers together with some of those Chevaliers, making their way around the outside. One of the wall components hasn't actually been built, and I Play One Civ is only going to see it at the last second going, oh, yep, that was a mistake. That was a mistake right there. Left the wall open, and now have a look at this. Krakky just having a field day in the wood line, in the farms. Absolute pleasure for him. Runs all the infantry back now, I Play One Civ does, and underneath the defensive structures, you can see Krakky just does not give a hoot. It's got that 5 ranged armor. Sacred Site in the north of the map. Going to be converted over. Sacred Site in the south, as well as the center. You'll be considering it. At the end of the day, a huge amount of villager kills coming through for Krakky here. Keep in mind, it is a 2 TC ball game between these two. Neither of them throwing down that 3rd TC just yet, so any small villager kills that you can get are definitely going to start to add up over the course of the game. We'll check back in with Krakky and see how he's doing as he adds in even more farms, up to 27 now. The remnants of the raiding force has been repelled. Sacred Site number 1 taken. Number 2 taken. Where does number 3 go? We'll have to wait and see. A little bit more difficult to secure up the Sacred Sites on this map. I will say that right now. It definitely feels like you're fighting in the pocket quite a bit. But now more and more Mangonels might potentially be caught out. I think one more hit. Oh no, he's managed to got it over onto the scout. The knight's going to come through, rather the king's going to come through and get the charge. Is he able to do it? He does. He takes the 1-for-1, and definitely a trade worth taking. By the way, have a look at the score on these two guys. Within points of each other, within 10 points of each other at one point just there. That was very, very close. Treasure Towers is through. We can tell because the little cosmetic towards the top gets added in. So if we take a look here, you'll see that Desert Outpost as well as Treasure Towers are now through. So a really cool little... I don't even know if cosmetic's the right term for it, but it's a little way that you can tell that Treasure Towers is through, the same way that when Boiling Oil is through, they get these little windows that appear down here. So we'll keep an eye out for those. If you have a look down over on the other side, do we have them? No, it doesn't look like we do. Yeah, no Boiling Oil just yet. But yeah, they kind of appear like that. I don't even know if windows is the right term, but they get like these little shutters, wooden shutters over the top of them, where you can see that they would clearly pour boiling oil out of. Templar brothers, big raid. Is that a double springald emplacement? That is a double springald emplacement. Vills jump inside. You can see, it's such a satisfying sound, those springalds, when they hit. It really sounds like just a bolt, like a big crossbow bolt. What is going on here? What is going on here, Mr. Pilgrim? What's going on with the Pilgrim? Somebody help the Pilgrim. What was that Pilgrim doing? It got onto the sacred site and just had a bit of a walk around. Did you guys see that? This Pilgrim should have evaporated at this point, but it was just like, nah, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to die to the sprinkled emplacement. Poor Crackety here. What was that all about? Wingard Palace on the other side of the map going to be coming out, though. Have a look at this. Age up 20 minutes. We're going to call it, it's not a fast Imperial. It's anything before 20 minutes, and that's a fast Imp. Anything after, and you've just taken your time. So that's definitely not a fast Imperial today. It's a quick one, though. It's been a bit more of a passive game. I mean, both players have 100% been trading, exchanging, doing a little bit of fighting, a bit of kiting, if you will. But we don't actually see a whole bunch of heads-on, heads-up fighting. Now, which way does Crackety go here? I'm going to go with Teutons. Go Teutons. Go Teutons. Where does he go? Crackety, give it to me. Poland. Oh, my lord, dude. We've seen Poland like 5 times in a row now. I think players are starting to work out, hey, Poland might be the best. Teutonic Order, it's good, but it's no Poland, that's for sure. Republic of Venice, it's good, but I guess it's no Poland. sad drongo noises right now. Oh, man. The Kingdom of Poland, you know why I don't like the Kingdom of Poland, don't you guys? Yeah, it's because I can't pronounce the unit, dude. Oh, man. Is it because I can't pronounce it or because I refuse to learn how to pronounce it? There's one guy who always comments. What does he do? He always comments whenever I pronounce one thing. I can't, oh, what is it? There's one thing, and he commented on a video recently, and I just responded to him like, no. Anyway, some of the mispronunciations are intentional, some of them are not. This one is not. I'm just not the best at my Eastern European pronunciation yet. Is Poland's Eastern European, right? Are you guys that far east? I mean, you kind of like. Hey, you know Spain. You know Portugal. Calm down, Poland. Calm down. Sacred site in the south now. Neutralized. Let's check in back towards the middle of the map. The number here continues to build is 113 for each of these pilgrims. Got that treasure tower bonus that should be applying to them. You can see just right there. Now, I want to see if we get another loop-de-loop that happens with these. I don't think it will. I wonder what happened there that the loop-de-loop happened. Still a decent amount of gold. 176, 186 on that one. What's this one got? 186 as well. I'm not complaining. 200 gold a pop. Okay, so we're chilling out right now. We're vibing. These guys, they're minding their own business. Wingard Rangers on the way. Okay, I didn't consider the Ranger. That could be a problem. The longbows I'd thought about, but the Rangers, not something I'd figured. 8 tiles of range against the Genoese crossbowmen. So they've got 6.9 tiles of range. So still technically outranged. But they are light ranged infantry, so they don't get countered. They just get, it's a soft counter more than it is a hard counter with the Wingard Rangers. But I tell you what, that's a battle I'd be very willing to see. Because I know the Genitor would absolutely destroy them. Now, take a look at this. We've got a whole bunch of the Schlatter cavalry that's coming out. Together with the Templar brothers. More and more of them making their way onto the field. There's the Schlatter. They kind of look like the Rus Knights to me. Templars. Rus. Completely different sides of the field though, aren't they? And now pushing forward towards the center. More Templars making their way out, more pilgrims. Total of 4 now here for him. No emplacements coming through on the fortresses just yet. As we prepare 23 minutes into this game. Neither player really yet to make their way. Wait, is that's a trebuchet emplacement. We got our first trebuchet emplacement coming through in the middle of the map. Crackety here. Holding it out for the moment. I play one Civ about to lose his king. Be careful, son. He falls back. He's also got the scout out, which is kind of impressive. Military numbers looking good. Crossbows yet to get the upgrades. Wingard Rangers on the way through. Spearmen also. Can we get some upgrades through I play one Civ? Doesn't have a whole lot of gold in the bank. Can we? Is it possible that you could sell your gold? You've got a market back here, right? Yeah, you've got a market back here. Sell your food and buy yourself or get yourself a whole bunch of gold and just click all those upgrades for me. That's what you need to do. It's one of the most important things to do when you hit Imperial Age. Obviously, there's a lot. Do we have enclosures tech yet? No, I don't think we do. Is it on the way? No, we do. My bad. You can tell by these little wooden fences. These are the cosmetic additions. Let's go with that. Oh my god, why was that so loud, dude? That treb landed in the water, but I tell you what, it was very loud. Crossbows now beginning to move forward. What's the go here? I play one Civ, just looking to sack the crossbows, heading underneath the enemy fortress. And now he's going to look to try and pick them off. You can see he's literally just sacrificing them to the gods right now. Good luck, little guys. Trebuchet boulder about to come through. There it is. So he just says peace out to like 20 crossbowmen. Which, I mean, fair enough, but why would you want to do that to crossbows? Like, crossbows are such a good unit. Even for the English, even as the game goes on, it's like it's a powerhouse unit that you just want to always keep around. I can't ever imagine a circumstance where I wouldn't want to have elite crossbows. And even in the circumstances where it's like, oh yeah, you'd prefer the hand cannoneers. Okay, but what if you run out of gold? You're still going to want crossbows. And like, that was a decent amount of crossbows he just threw away for nothing, man. I don't know if I agree with it. Maybe he's looking to make more ranges? Now he's pushing the men-at-arms up? No, don't tell me he's sacking the men-at-arms as well. What is he doing? No, I play one civ. I play one civ. You're going to have to rename yourself to I fight with one unit. Look at this, man. The Genoese crossbowmen just eating them all alive. This guy's Conqueror 3, I assure you. I don't know what it is that we're witnessing right here. But it's definitely quite a bit confusing. Trebuchet placement about to finish off this outpost once and for all. Good night, sweet outpost. And now pushing forward, the elite spearmen are finally going to face off with the Wingard Rangers at the front. Teeing off towards that front line, doing quite a bit of damage. Ideally with the Rangers, you'd love to focus down these Genoese crossbowmen. And now beginning to push forward, you can see the amount of damage they've got. 30 damage on these crossbowmen, and obviously Crackety just eats that army alive. I play one civ now on the defense. He's going to have to kite his way back here. Doing a decent job. Quite a bit of damage on these Wingard Rangers. And we're starting to witness the Battle of the Archers. The king goes down, but the Ranger number continues to build. He's up to 22 now. He's got 2 more in queue. As long as he continues spamming spears to the front, he should be okay. Do we see the upgrade? We don't see the upgrades coming through. Elite army tactics now finally coming through. Ville's going to be brought up as well. He loses out a couple. He's down 25 Villes on his opponent, almost 30 Villes on his opponent, losing out a massive amount of them right there. And now Crackety going to continue pushing forward. You can see just how much trouble he's having with these ranged Wingard Rangers. Unfortunately, losing one slowly. Attack speed still looking good, but able to clean them up for the moment. Wingard Rangers definitely appears to be a bit of an Achilles heel to this Knights Templar army. How do you go about dealing with this? The constant kiting, keeping you under pressure. And as long as he continues adding in more and more Rangers, this is going to get harder and harder to deal with. He's down to 150 pop, Crackety down to 160 pop. I guess the reality is, as we hear a market utilizing the Pilgrim Loan. So he's going to be spending, the way the Pilgrim Loan works, let's just quickly go over it. You give me 3,000 food. Actually, it's 4,000 food, I think. Yeah, it's 4,000 food. You give me 4,000 food, I give you 900 gold per minute for 4 minutes. So basically, you're paying me 400 food to get 3,600 gold. And you can only have one of them operating at a time, but you can basically just get these bad boys back to back to back. And it basically means you can have 1,000 Villes on food and just constantly be feeding in gold. You've got a guaranteed way to generate 900 gold per minute, on top of the fact that you also have a guaranteed way to generate like 2,000 gold a minute. It gets pretty absurd when you think about it. That's 200, roughly 200 gold on each one of those. 6 of them. That's 1,200 gold right there. So you got 1,200 gold plus the 900 gold. And it's all costing you 0 population. I mean, technically you pay, like, the food that you fork out for it is, you're paying that. But still, it's like, it's a very good trade. We'll take that trade every day of the week. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, interestingly, our English player has avoided walls. Never something advisable in any game, realistically. You want to get walls up, and you want to, at the very least, wall yourself in completely. With palisades. Is he even reacting? He's not even reacting at the front here. Back over towards that east side, though. You can see the Chevaliers together with the Schlatter just cleaning up. Crackety here having a field day, bringing in his opponent down below 100 villages. Behind the scenes, the Wolves are helping out. They're doing more than the army is at the moment. Treb's looking to work down the fortresses. It's going to take some time here. These fortresses notorious for how strong they are. Back over towards that east side. Finally, we see a little bit of defense coming through from I Play One Civ. Now, I have confirmed, I've gone into the files, the logs, I've double-checked, he does in fact play one civ. Occasionally, he plays the Byzantines. I'll say that right now. In his last 50 games that I checked, he's played the Byzantines once. So, we'll allow it, we'll allow it. I'll assume it was accidental. But now, Genoese crossbowmen move up. Look at this. Look at how much damage they do to the counterweight trebuchets. But at the same time, the Wingard Rangers really creating a bit of a problem here for Crackety. In the end, the counterweight trebs do go down. So the trade is good. We still got units behind the scenes. Crackety might need to help out here with the wolf. Up towards the north side. Ville's going to be evacuated into the outpost. He's got plenty of them. Sprinkled emplacements, you hear them firing off as he tries to defend all of his troops or all of his villagers up towards the north. Meanwhile, that push is going to start coming to shove. The trouble is, he's got no real easy way to deal with these fortresses right now. He's also picking up the iron clamps for defense. And now Crackety, he's going to look to try and get the offense on. Plenty of spears underneath. But not only do you have that extra armor, you've also got that extra range when you fight underneath the fortress here. Wingard Rangers doing a decent job of taking out this front line together with the spears, but you can see just how much health are on these Schlatter. They've got that extra ranged armor. They've got 12 ranged armor. Oh my lord, that's a ridiculous amount of ranged armor, dude. These have got 18 range damage though, so I mean, you're still coming over the top by quite a bit there. 6 damage for each of these. And that's it. That's it. He just says, you know what? I'm losing too much behind the scenes. Crackety here, coming out with the victory. A little bit of a slow game right there, but that's what you'd expect when Crackety here is... I'm not going to say that. Crackety's a great guy. We love Crackety. Anyway, I'll leave a link in the description of where you can watch his video. Make sure you check out the build order. It's the fastest second TC possible. Crackety here.